Welcome to Jokakaka. I'm Jim.
I'm Sam.
And today we're talking about JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, Part 8, JoJolion, Chapter 86.
Yes.
The Head Doctor of TG University Hospital, Part 3.
Yes, finally.
It's quite a mouthful.
I know, yeah. Finally we have a chapter after a huge drought of nothing.
Yes, I love seeing JoJolion chapter. Today was like perfect. Like I was at work, I had free time enough to just read it as soon as I got the text from you.
I woke up. I woke up. I checked my phone, wasn't out yet, and then I went to work. And like the first hour after, I was doing my job, I saw the chapter come. I'm like, I'm gonna read this real quick and not do what I'm supposed to be doing. But luckily, no one bothers me when I'm.
That's good.
But yeah, I read through that. I went home, reread it, and then took notes. So.
All right. So okay, before we start talking about the chapter proper, I have a little announcement to make.
This is news to me too.
This is news to Sam. We are on iTunes.
Oh yeah.
I forgot you Jokakaka on iTunes. It was a fucking nightmare.
Yeah, I remember you sending me a Snapchat or two of that.
It took so fucking long for it to go through. So currently all that's on there is going to be the last episode and this episode.
Are you just putting the manga ones on there?
Yes. So it's only going to be like Jokakaka manga. So if you prefer to listen to that, the episodes actually might go online a little sooner than the videos, just because it takes longer for YouTube to render it. So if you want to get that cutting edge Jokakaka, the iTunes one will be up maybe 40 minutes to an hour before. But this will be like the only time I maybe implore plug this. If you would go on iTunes and leave a good review, I will include a link. Leaving reviews on iTunes is literally like the best thing you can do for a podcast. It really helps with exposure. So,
what do you want to give them a shout out if they leave like a good one?
Well, now I feel like I'm on the spot. Sure, yeah, I'll read through all of them for sure. And if I see a good one, I'll say your name, I guess. All right, sounds great. Let's actually stop talking about me fucking what is it?
iTunes.
Plugging, yes.
You want to go through that horror again?
So let's talk about the chapter.
Chapter 86. Where we basically, the chapter starts with just a kind of recap of Planet Fraser losing his legs, 89 years old.
Yeah, it was just a recap. Like, we get the stand power. It's like, if something hits you,
something is hitting
hurts.
us.
I love that, like, something in quotes, like, something
there's
will
a lot of
you.
quotes. Even in my notes, I wrote down, like, there's a lot of quotes in this one sentence.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, the recap, Planet Fraser's, like, legs are completely fucked.
They're way worse looking than I remembered from the last chapter. Like, also, I guess because he's using doggy style to, like,
trying to keep
repair
it together.
them. But it just looks like there's huge veins, like, hanging out of it.
I mean, if he died, it probably would just render into veins.
Yeah. Oh, that's a really cool image, actually.
If it faded away, it'd probably be like that.
I like that.
So, yeah, basically, and then the new stuff kicks off when Gappy and Asho basically run outside to see if they can find the head doctor, and they can't find him.
And they fight a bus.
Well, they get there. But yeah, Planet Fraser realizes, all the things he's touched are related to the stand or the attack that's happening. So the head doctor's causing himself to be pursued instead of, stopping getting him. He's causing himself to be pursued by them, or like, it's really weird.
It took them a very long time to figure this out, which of course, like, as a reader, you're like, well, obviously this is happening, like, but it is refreshing to see that, like, insight from the characters. Like,
I mean, they figured it out, like, especially after watching a lot of Part 5, we just figured this shit out, like, there's nothing.
You kind of become an expert at, like, stand bullshit after a while.
I guess. Or you just know trivial facts to help you in a really specific stand battle. But yeah, Gabby says he touched the ICU door and it caused his pinky to bleed. That's been like bleeding for the past, like,
which I think they were pretty... I remember, like, noticing that. I don't know if it was explicitly stated until now. Yeah,
you always saw that. It was like, he was, I think last chapter specifically was, like, heavily, like, it would keep showing.
I remember they showed the cut. I don't remember if it was, like, they made it clear that it was him hitting the window, but I was like, oh, clearly it's that. Yeah, and then I made the expert connection to Mitsuba hitting her other finger against the window.
Yeah.
So, the doctor's in surgery.
Yeah, but no, not this time. Doctor is on the bus.
That's true.
So, yeah, Yasho wants to get a picture of him, because, Paisley Park can just basically track everything down. And but Planet Predator saying, don't do it, look at me.
Which is it might be the first time that Planet Praiser has shown any shred of care about, like, Yasuo's getting hurt at all. Like,
I mean, yeah,
he definitely cares about Gappy, because Gappy's his, like, lifeline.
Gappy's a key.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, basically, lots of quotes, but he says, basically, the pursuit is a switch for the stand.
Yeah, which is really interesting, because we've kind of seen that before, like...
It's just reminded me a lot of Blue Hawaii.
Yeah, which is a terrible stand.
We have stated many times how Blue Hawaii is not that great.
Yeah.
Even though I don't mind it too much, Jim hates it.
I forget how Blue Hawaii works, though. It's like an automatic stand.
It touched a person or a thing, and they would come towards, like, would, like, you know, basically just charge at you no matter what.
Yeah.
If they touch you, you're basically fucked.
Okay, yeah.
Like that kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
But this is, like, kind of like everything stop it running into you to hurt you or stop you from getting to the person.
Yeah, it's almost like a reverse of that idea in a way.
Yeah. So a car it kind of heads towards them, and it looks like it hits a cigarette into Gappy.
Yeah, this is like the rules of the stand are really weird. We clearly don't really know. All we know is that, like, it can cause things to hurt you very hard. The
last chapter seemed like, you know, stuff was just, like, conveniently getting in the way, or maybe, like, you know, moving in the way. But this one, basically, so the cigarette looks like it's, like, glowing, like, it's shooting. Yeah, it literally
is like a fucking projectile. It becomes a projectile.
Yeah, Gappy gets his hand up, but they call it, like, his hand to bleed too,
and it ruins his hand.
But I mean, he's been through worse.
He definitely hasn't.
So yeah, Yasha's still trying to get the picture while, like, Gappy's, like, trying to block the cigarette from hitting her, and, like, the doctor actually turns. You actually get, like, a weird, I think blacked out for the most part, but you see, like, a good portion of his face.
So I don't think we get a follow up on this, but when I saw that, I assumed, oh, so she got the shot.
Yeah, didn't. There's no snap. There's no, like, but she kind of makes the and there's no, like, follow up on that. She, like, maybe she. I think she does get it. That's gonna be the reveal probably towards the end, that she got the picture of it.
Yeah, hopefully next chapter, because, like, not to jump too ahead, but, like, the characters aren't together at the end of this chapter.
Yeah. So, but yeah, the car then runs into Gappy and Asha, but the bubbles absorb the impact.
Yes, hilariously.
It's the weirdest car, like, collision. But yeah, they basically asked each other if they were okay. They touched the car's body, and then they have, like, a moment of, like, they have a moment together of, like kind of like, oh, like, kind of looking like.
Yeah, which I love. I've said it many times before. Araki's, like, mastered, like, the shoujo panel, like, the where, especially Yasuo scenes, he always gets, like, real close-ups, like, the beauty of the character's expressions is really accentuated, and it always, like, I don't know, it really highlights romance.
Yeah, it lightens, like, the characters are very, like, white.
It's really interesting. He uses a very light brush, a really light stroke when he's drawing there, and it creates this, like, real, like, nice dream effect. I love it. I keep it up, Araki. I know you're a listener.
yeah, let me tell you. So basically, after that, they decide to stop following. It's not worth it for, like, without, like, an actual, like, idea of how to actually get to him and stop him.
So it went from like, umbrella stand to cigarette to car. What's next? Like, an airplane? Well, actually, no, we do know.
Yeah, we get to that.
But like, if they had kept pursuing, like, fucking the walleyes themselves would start crashing into them.
So we get some weird guy. He looks like not like a Part 8 character. I thought
he looks so weird.
He looks like a weird Part 3 or even like a Part 5 villain.
Yeah, he kind of does look like a Part 5, especially the hair. The hair's very weird. Even, like, I don't know, everything about this guy looked really strange.
And I guess he had a neck brace on. I couldn't tell with a neck brace because, you know, I just assume it's a weird, like, Iraqi fashion.
Oh, I had no idea until just now. Wow.
Yeah, because at one point Toru does say he was like he had a neck injury. He's like it's maybe just some weird. Because you're so used to JoJo, you had that like.
Any character can just look like anything.
Like, you go to Part 6 in, like, the Sons of Dio, and you have those weird... The one with the rods had, like, that weird collar thing.
We don't talk about it.
He looked like that Russian singer, like, video. Like,
oh, yeah, what's it called? I don't know the name for it, but it's...
that like that. Yeah, it looks like that person. Which I wouldn't be surprised if it was inspired by, because Araki saw it on, like, public access on, like, Japan, showing, like, the worldwide weird shit.
Probably.
So, yeah, he approaches the Gappy. He harasses him about, like, cigarettes and the disease he had, and basically...
So he's angry because he got blood in his mouth. So he's like, what kind of diseases do you have, freak? Which is, like, I just recently read the early on JoJolion, and it's funny because, like, when Yasho initially sees Gappy, she's like, oh, I shouldn't touch him. He might be contagious. He might have a weird disease. Like, what does Gappy look so weird that he's harboring all of these diseases?
Hey, the man, he's wearing the outfit of a sailor, so you don't know what he got.
That's true.
Around the world.
He's been all over the world. He's gotten all those weird exotic diseases.
So, basically, he goes to touch Gappy's hand, and he puts a bubble shield, like, around his hand, but the guy's, like, neck snaps when he touches the bubbles.
Which is hilarious. Legitimately hilarious.
It literally just goes, completely 90 degrees to the right.
Yeah.
Or left, whatever it was. You get the point. But yeah. So they basically say at this point that it's 6 days till the harvest. The Planet Praiser drops that.
Yes, so he confirms what me, an avid recorder of the JoJolion timeline, yes. He does confirm that it is 6 days.
For new anime timeliners.
I believe precisely the time would be 6 days and 4 hours.
That sounds about right.
At this point.
Yeah. And he says something, and Planet Brother says something was repelled from Gappy to him. It's like a weird thing he said. So something went from Gappy to the guy. I don't know what. Maybe it was like the impact of like the car hitting him, went to the guy, and that's why his neck snapped.
Oh, interesting.
Like, because he strictly figured that out.
So Gappy does use soft and wet here. He uses soft and wet to shield himself from the car. And is it supposed to be reflected? Maybe? Do you think maybe he?
Because he said something was repelled though from Gappy, and his bubble only take stuff away, or do whatever the fuck he wants to do.
Yeah, and they've pretty much just become a whole different thing now.
But like they were entirely new bubbles. They weren't. I don't think he can just recall the bubble back into himself, then shoot him back out what he had absorbed beforehand.
Yeah, honestly, he's done weirder shit before though.
I think it's just like the stand caused the impact of the car to go into that guy. And to delay them even more. Okay,
sorry, I'm just reading the quote exactly. There was another collision because we were following the head doctor. Something was repelled from you to him. So, interesting, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know what that could mean.
Yeah. So, basically, everyone in the hospital just is outside now. You know, this place has been pretty abandoned for the most part, but everybody comes over with their phones and, like, saying, what happened? Look, a dead body.
Yeah, which, I mean, it is pretty weird if you were to see that.
A sailor snapped this weird guy's neck who doesn't look like he belongs in this world, but he does. I
don't like to always bring up other people when we're talking about this, but Medi, not the bad guy, did a very hilarious tweet that I thought, where he said, oh, so I guess crowds matter. And it shows this scene where, like, the guy's neck snaps. He barely even touches Gappy. His neck snaps and he falls over and everyone comes over and they're like, what happened? But when he killed Damo, he literally just like punches his skull in public. His head explodes with blood and shrapnel everywhere. Two guys look over their shoulders and then they like, oh, it must be a statue or something. Like they completely just don't care.
I mean, this old guy turned from a human to like a rock and like,
that's true.
It's definitely a statue then if you this human looking guy.
But there was a lot of blood. There is a lot of blood when he does, and he also soft and wet does the punch, not because Gappy kind of touches the guy directly in this one.
I don't know, man. Just don't worry about it.
All right, so next we got my boy Toru, the true hero of Part 8.
But they also say they don't have time to deal with the cops because of the harvest. And then
he's just being pragmatic at this point. He's just like, we can't waste time. Yeah, we can't waste time.
Even if we have to deal with the cops, we can't. You know, even with the investigation, the plant will be harvested and it will be like out of time.
Yeah.
And so they had to say basically it's a split from Gappy. Gappy had to go on the run, and Yasho and I guess carried the Planet Praiser in a wagon behind her.
No, I think he took off too.
I wanted in pieces, just like Yasha like tugging him around though.
No, they all split up, which is a hilarious panel. Yasuho just sitting alone, like as if they just immediately took off, like they're fucking.
Yeah, the Chad Toru shows up again, and
so yeah, this is great. I fucking love Toru.
But he also says, you know, Gappy didn't kill him. He didn't do anything. His neck just snapped because I guess from his previous neck injury.
So this is, like, extremely suspicious that he would...
Oh, yeah.
Because, like, of course he would know that this guy has a neck injury because he's the one that sicked it on him.
Yeah.
Because his stand is the one that is the stand because I am a genius and I'm calling it right now. But I do also really like the angle that, oh, no, Toru is, like, a good guy. Toru just wants
People want, like, a million-page aura on him because people just
How
like
dare they?
I would love to see like this.
No.
I want to see this like straight face pretty boy guy like break though. Like I want to see this moment when he's like loses like his like
I don't
his
know.
fake game.
I like Toru. I think Toru is a true player. Not that that's a good reason to like someone, but I think he's a very interesting character. I'm so intrigued by him. He feels like a truly individual character at this point in JoJo. Like I can't compare him to anyone else. He's been around long enough that he doesn't seem just like a arc villain.
He pops up throughout like this arc and last arc.
Yeah.
So. But he also says he would testify. But another thing, he touches her shoulder, which I'm wondering if that's going to be a collision thing. It could be a
Yeah. So when I saw that too, I was thinking the same. I was like, oh well, there's a last collision. Like that's the other. We had another collision for all the characters in the scene. The one thing I also wanted to say. So yeah, in the early part of part 8, Yasuo, who is presumably running away from Joshu, she mentions she's like, this can't be happening. I've only been kissed once before. So we can assume that Toru, if Araki really is like planting these seeds
doing these
7 years
these deep cuts
ahead of time, that Toru is probably Yasuo's only like big relationship that she's ever had.
Seems like it. So yeah, after that, then we cut away to a hot tub at a condo. 5 days.
So yeah, 5 days, 1 hour, and 5 minutes until the harvest. So at first I was like, this is so weird to have this like random scene, but then I was like, oh no, she's like the... Because I was like, what other fat women have there been in part 8? I was like, oh, it has to be one of the moms.
The PTA meetings.
Yeah.
Yeah. Makorin?
Yeah, her name's Makorin.
We're probably pronouncing that wrong. Feel free to tell us how to pronounce it.
Yeah, actually, I kept reading, because the way that it's written, it's always like, they got the little, what are they called? Tilde? A tilde? That little symbol.
Okay.
You've ever heard that term before? It's that little symbol between, like, the words.
Oh,
it's supposed to be,
the squiggles that are always there.
Yeah, actually, looking closer, it doesn't look like a tilde, it just looks like a squiggle. But, yeah, he said when... our boy from part 8.
I basically wrote down the stuff that she said and the stuff with him after that. So, I mean, get the girl stuff out of the way, like what she was just, before we get to like the big reveal, I guess, of this. Yeah, where she basically just venting about Mitsuba, she's like, I want to kill her, typical, like, I hate this, like, you woman, cat fight kind of thing. And it talks about the Hishikata estate, about the land. She wants to get on good terms with the family, so, because she can get in good.
Yeah, so basically she's like, she's such a weird character. So she seems to be like a real estate mogul, but she also owns the baseball team.
Yeah.
And we also learn later that they apparently made sketchy deals so that the land, so this is like one of the biggest red flags ever. So the land under a lot of the condos and the baseball stadium is like weak and will not support it, and they literally had to like bend the laws to do it. So I'm calling this right now, this is a huge red flag. The end of part 8 is gonna have like a big earthquake or something that's gonna destroy like most of the town, and she's gonna be like culpable because she's the one that
that's what's satisfying. She's what Fat Funny was in part 7.
Because if you think about like I was trying to figure it out. I don't know how early the earthquake happened that caused the walleyes to show up. But, like, it would be an interesting bookends for part 8 to have, like, an earthquake early or, like before the beginning.
Stars
and then, like,
coming
later.
out of the ground from the earthquake or after the earthquake.
Yeah.
But yeah, she talks about, like, the Hishikata family history with, like, the whole Kaito Jobin thing.
Yeah. Which is, it's interesting to hear this from a non-Higashikata, so we know that this is, like, a pretty... popular town rumor.
Town knows this stuff.
Yeah.
And then she also mentions the Wall's Eyes, but I feel like first time mentioned in I don't know how long.
Probably at least like 50 chapters.
So, and then, but then the big reveal is the man in this chapter, which I guess if you don't remember like the early chapter, you would have no idea who this is until you looked it up at the very end or saw the fingers. Because this is like, his appearance was like end of chapter 5, chapter 6. It was like his like...
And that was it, like...
Yeah, that was it. And then, so yeah.
Stand user, what's his name?
Ojiro.
So his name's Ojiro, his stand is called Fun Fun Fun.
If you remember, it was the first enemy stand encountered, where he's... So his whole function was, it was above you, and he was above you, and you got injured. He controlled the parts of you that were injured.
Yes.
And it was just like one of those like really specific, convoluted like.
Which to his credit, he made work pretty well.
Yes, because he had to set it up. He had to set this up very particularly to get it to work.
Yeah, and so conveniently, he lived the apartment above Kira.
Yes.
So to me, I was extremely excited when I realized who it was.
So first of all, after she talks about the entire thing, he asked about she mentioned an incurable disease and killing the classmate to cure that incurable disease, and that's kind of like red flag right there. And then his hands were stepped on, and they all fall off because they're prosthetics. I'm just assuming, even though you've seen, they probably can like move them pretty fine because JoJo prosthetics. So he
literally like pickpockets her with his like bullshit rubber prosthetic fingers.
I guess.
I wonder
if I know it stands like a weird bell looking thing. I wonder like you can't like, it's not a humanoid one, so it's not like you can like use the stand like as to move the fingers.
No, unless he's using the stand to move his broken limb, or his not broken, but his like crippled fingers. He just puts it on like
I guess he can wear the stand like a hat. So basically he said he had a surfing buddy who talked about that thing of like moving the disease to a person, but it was a fruit, and it had a picture of Kira, which is like, I'm so happy because I want to see more Kira flashbacks, and I would love to see this relationship of like Kira and him. So to me, the biggest thing that I was like, I cannot believe we're still doing this. I was so happy.
Referring to the burying of people, referring to the burying of things to switch traits, because since like, well, I mean, it starts out with Gappy being Kira and just Fume, but like that has kind of been usurped by the Jokakaka itself, just having that power inherently.
Yeah, I mean, we had that whole one scene with like remember the fruit being buried
with Kyo. So Kyo buries an apple and an orange, and they swap.
And then and we also have they reveal like when the whole Jofume and Kira thing where he eats the fruit. And then they kind of fall into the, like...
yeah.
So it's more so the fruit than it was the land. Maybe it has something to do with both of them, I guess.
Well, that's the thing that I'm happy that they're bringing this up again, or that he's bringing this up again, because so if you remember correctly, Kira is, like, literally dead or almost dead, and just Fume is like, fuck. And then I guess, the earthquake happens, right? Yeah, yes. So, because it's after the Demo fight, the earthquake's happening, he uses soft and wet to feed Kira. Force feed Kira the fruit. So in my brain, I thought, is it supposed to be like the Rokaka is Soft and Wet and the Rokaka together is what's causing this. But then the other chapters had implied that the ground itself has this power.
After I felt like pieces of Jofume would like coming off, and that's was he kind of going towards him.
I don't remember that.
I could have swore that's what happened.
I do remember he was like putting stuff inside Kira, but
I don't know. Maybe like putting like stuff in him, but like kind of symbolized.
I thought he was force feeding it. I forget. Whatever.
He was force feeding him, but yeah. But so yeah, he had a new tattoo, and his hair is kind of different. But I went back and read at least the.
Do we know if it's a new tattoo? Did we see his bare chest?
No, I don't think so.
Okay, so he just has a tattoo. We definitely know his hair is different, but...
So, I went back to chapter 6 about it, because I was like, did he have an actual relationship with Kira? I can't remember, because it was chapter freaking 6. So, yeah, Kira repeatedly told him he was pretending to be a man, caused him to, drink and drugs, told him to eat to prove he was a man, and he ate all his fingers, and he kind of hates Kira.
Yeah, which, okay... Like,
so he says he had an old friend. I'm not sure if he's joking with that, or they're gonna have some weird retcon that Araki's gonna do.
I think he's being coy here. I think he's just kind of being like, oh. But so this chapter isn't like fantastic in my opinion, but in like what the contents of it are. But it does so much to like connect the world, and I got such like a huge like, what's the term? I can't think of any good words today. Like. Everything, it's like a small town. Like it has like the feel of a small town. Like with this character who we've seen before, this woman.
He's one of the. This guy's also one of the few standing just alive and not like brutally destroyed by Gappy.
Yeah, so he's one of the first guys we've seen. He's back. We've got this character. What's her name? Makara.
My mind went to macaroon, but like it's called Makorin.
Makorin. Okay, so Makorin, we've seen her before at the PTA meetings. She also is connected to the baseball stadium. She owns the baseball team, which is also connected to the Rokaka, because the one pitcher ate the Rokaka so that he would...
Yeah, I think his eyes, like...
His mouth, his jaw.
Jaw is what it was.
Yeah, his entire jaw. So he wears like a bandana now, like a face covering, which is really cool. But there's just so many like things that are coming back, and like we have to ask ourselves, what is with this guy? Why is his hair like that? Why are there crosses in his hair now?
I can remember, because I was like looking at the art. He had like originally he just had like you just saw the blonde, but like then if I had a back shot, it looked like there were like clips or like maybe the nails that he had like they collected to make him think he was like a serial killer or whatever it was. His plan was.
Wait, did he actually do that, like, to trick them?
Yeah, remember he had the hands in there? And
I thought that was just Kira's...
He had a woman kidnapped in there.
Yeah, I remember that setup. That was, like, the setup.
Yeah, he tried to set him up. That whole... He had the whole jar of nail could make you think, oh, this Kira is like the other Kira. And then you get misdirected, that whole thing. But, yeah, so we get that basically at the end of the chapter, and then we have... Basically, he's back. One of the few non-rock people villains that's in this part.
I do like the setting up, or him being just, like, having a sugar mama. Like, he's clearly stealing from her. He's trying to, like, flirt with her all the time. So he's clearly...
He likes his MILFs.
Yeah, and
little chubby MILFs.
She's even like, oh, let me buy you the better fingers after I stepped on your blah fingers. I don't know. I got a big satisfaction of, like, it feels like everything's connected now.
Yeah.
Like, and it doesn't feel like an asshole either. It feels like characters that we've seen before.
Yeah, I feel like any of these characters that we like haven't seen in a while could come back at any time. Like we have the Love Deluxe. She can come back.
Yeah, Carrera hasn't really necessarily been important from a story point of view. Like I don't see a reason for her to come back. But someone like Kyo should be here.
I mean, she has the most motivation out of like anyone.
Yeah, so it's funny because like
even Kaito hasn't showed up, but she's being mentioned, so she knows she's not forgotten.
It's really cool to me because everyone's thinking of like, oh, there's going to be like a faction confrontation at the end. It's going to be like Gappy Squad and Jobin Squad and blah blah blah. But this is adding like a whole new angle because these are people who are against the Higashikatas at all costs. Like they have no interest in being friendly with them. They just want their resources essentially. And 2, who knows how many more connections they have. Like, they clearly know about the equivalent exchange. Like, this guy seems to be a linchpin for it.
But people thinking he's going to be like the Yuya in Part 4, where, like, Highway Star user, where he
swaps.
A user that comes back, like, randomly, like, out of nowhere. And kind of, like, begrudgingly, like, allies, but who knows.
But wasn't that just right after, though?
No, it was like it was a little bit after that.
Was it? Yeah. I haven't actually read Part 4, so...
It wasn't until like Enigma, and like that was a good bunch of chapters after that.
Okay, this might just be me remembering incorrectly. Someone in the comments correct. But I thought that they have the whole Highway Star arc.
Yes.
And then it sends them into... hospital.
Yes.
And then from there they go find... Because Koichi... Wait, no... Koichi, yeah, I was thinking Kokichi. Koichi is kidnapped by Enigma, and then they have to team up. I thought that was right after.
No, that wasn't right after.
I'm interested.
Because it's the last, like, one of the last 3 stand fights of Part 4, because I remember the 3-part the episode in the anime had combined Enigma, the Superfly, and what was the other one? And what's the back?
I never remember that
Cheap Trick.
Name. Cheap Trick, yeah. I literally will never remember it.
But yeah, that was Sorry. And then there's a little bit after that, but... Yes. So, yeah. So, do you think... What do you think his role is going to be, though? Because I guess we're getting predictions now. Like, this is the main prediction. Like, what do you think is going to be involved with him?
So, he definitely doesn't seem like he's going to be a good guy. I don't know. I feel like we're gonna get an evolve stand situation.
You keep thinking that.
I do.
Yeah, you always keep saying stands evolve like different people though, because you have like you said that for what's the name? The The kid. He saw his steal stand abilities.
Tsurugi.
Yeah.
That's yet to be seen, though. But so, okay, for this guy, the reason why I say is because, like, he has had a major character appearance update. Because, like, he looks very... Well, I don't remember how tan he looked before. He looks extremely tan.
They made him tan.
We presume that this tattoo is new, but I don't have confirmation that the tattoo is new. It would just be weird for it not to be new. Because it looks like a brand. It looks like he's been branded.
But yeah, that's like the only real big myth because I guess they're still going to deal with the aftermath of splitting up to go find the head doctor, which I don't know how they're going to deal with him like at all.
Yeah,
because unless it actually is Toru and Yasho like figures it out or something.
That would be a very satisfying chapter to me, or like maybe potential next arc because Yasuho is kind of like the main character.
Unless she gets the actual picture, like we're pretty sure she got the picture. Like my
Yeah, when I saw that, I was like, okay, so yeah, that's like Araki language for she got the picture, but more important things are happening, aka being smashed in the face with a car.
And they still have a day to figure that whole thing out, and
yes,
and then they have him plotting for this time, and I don't know if like. I don't know, because and then if he's gonna get involved, he needs to have somewhere where he's high above like everyone else to like harass them. Like I don't know, man.
Well, that's assuming like so. I think that his initial stand is like pretty weak. I would rank it in like survivor levels of like being a shitty stand that's almost completely unusable. But so I think him getting some sort of evolved stand or like an evolved ability would make him a lot more threatening. I
don't know, imagine like a stand battle going on and he's like sitting above and like just screwing up both sides. Just,
that would be really interesting. I like that this whole group is kind of like they're not really. I mean, they're definitely aware of equivalent exchange, but it doesn't seem like they have anything to really benefit from it.
Yeah, the interesting thing because like it seemed like at least when I read the original thing that Kira was like kind of like an enemy to him, but like seeing like he knows. Maybe they were friends at could actually be like an actual thing where they were friends at one point and then they kind of just like be a dick to him, which we'll find out eventually, but maybe who knows?
Yeah, I would kill for another flashback chapter. The flashback chapters are always like the greatest, and
I would love to see more Kira.
Yeah, Kira. Seeing any more Kira is just
give him a more reason to draw Killer Queen again. Maybe see him and Killer Queen team up or something in a flashback, but just I don't know. You keep thinking this is the end, but he's gonna keep dragging this out, this whole countdown thing for a long time.
It's going a lot quicker than I thought it would. Actually,
it just jumps around though.
It does jump around, but we're already at day 5. Like it's been pretty consistently. Like he'll give us like a new day, pretty consistently.
But any other predictions you want to make or ideas?
Not really.
Kind of covered everything.
As I said, this chapter was kind of like, it wasn't bad, but it wasn't like my all-time favorite. Like where last chapter, I really enjoyed. I thought I had a really good sense of pacing. This chapter, I don't know. Like I don't really love the whole like running after the doctor thing. I'm kind of fucking over it, to be honest.
Not much happened from it other than maybe like them having to split up and everything. And, like, the most interesting we got was this other side, like, of the countdown.
Yeah. Honestly, at this point, I get way more excited for, like, the big plot dumpy... I don't want to say plot dump, but, like, the big, like, character moments. Like, I think it was last chapter where Jobin, like, tried to have sex with his wife. And it was, like, the greatest scene that we've seen in, like, 10 chapters.
Him and his beetle trying to have sex with his wife.
And... For me, like, looking back at the Dr. Wu fight, Dr. Wu was such a fun character, and that fight, he, like, helped sell that fight for me. But at this point, I'm getting a little tired of just, like, another, like, prolonged fight scene. Like, I would rather it end quicker.
Not really a fight, it's just them not being able to get to them, and just a lot of the same things are happening.
Yeah, and it doesn't feel clever. Like, if it's a really clever fight, then that's awesome. Like the Damo thing is like there's such a mystery to the stand,
at least Blue Hawaii had the horror aspect of like these people are just they're like keep going no matter what. They're just like because like a person goes through the gate, like the lady going like just walking through the gate and like, getting this slice. It's like like but like this just like stuff is just getting inconveniently in the way. The guy's neck snap was like the only weird thing. I'm hoping next chapter maybe would be like Toru and Yasho for the majority of that chapter. Yeah,
that'd be awesome.
And then because it seems to be going, we get 75% is the main 3, and it's something involving what they're going through, and then last quarter is something at a different point in time. So
the one thing I'm really happy about recently is that he has been the chapters have been really good, as in like. There is a lot of info, even if it's a chapter where most of it is like running towards or running away from something. Like you get a decent chunk. you get something to keep you coming back.
Yeah. So, is it?
Yeah, that's it.
All right, then. Thank you very much for listening.
Yes, thank you so much. I fucking love JoJo.
Yes. If you listen to this on YouTube, then like, comment, subscribe, etc., etc. iTunes, leave a review, like we said earlier.
Hell yeah.
Or can you rate stars on iTunes?
Yeah, I think you do a 5-star rating and then a review.
All right, and there you go. And
reviews are really what's important, though.
Yeah, if you want other stuff to listen that we talk about on YouTube, we have discussions of Part 5 anime. We have Hunter x Hunter discussions. And some other little things here and there, but those are the main things. And then...
Hell yeah.
But yeah, we had this giant gap of like kind of, the anime had like the special and then there's a really long arc, so we kind of had like a whole a week or so of like nothing. But we're trying to think of like other stuff, if you guys think of anything, manga,
Yeah, anything you'd like to hear us talk about, that'd be awesome.
Cause like I'm going through Hunter x Hunter first time. Like, do you want Jim to read through Dragon Ball or?
Yes, you made mention Dragon Ball. I thought Dragon Ball sounded awesome because as a kid I loved Dragon Ball Z and I didn't like Dragon Ball. But now as an adult, I feel like I've really matured, and I would probably love the Dragon Ball manga.
Dragon Ball is very, very goofy and just like so much weird stuff happens.
It just looks like a lot of fun, and Toriyama's art is awesome. His art is incredible.
So yeah, or any other things you have any ideas for just us to randomly talk about, just found these weird like times, especially when the Part 5 anime ends, so another thing we can like talk about.
Yeah.
So until we get to part 6 in sections. So
yeah, I've been thinking about it too. Like it'll be fun to have sporadic shows, but we're not going to be uploading as consistently as we have been. With part 5 and parts.
Yeah.
But I am excited to see the end of Part 5.
All right.
Again.
Yeah. Same. A giant clusterfuck. I can't wait. So yeah, thank you very much for listening.
Yes, thank you. You're the best. You're the best. Keep coming back. I'll read every comment you send.
You will.
Thank you.
I
love them all, except the ones that are dumb, which I like even more.
You know who you are.
I do love them all. I seriously, it brightens my day. I love reading comments about my stupid JoJo podcast that I do.
The fact that anyone takes the time out to like leave a comment is like means a lot to us. You have no
idea.
The fact
that anyone listens to this is baffling. I can't believe people care.
It's great though. I love that.
I do.
It makes me feel good.
It does make me feel good.
Yeah, thank you.
All right, bye.
Bye.